President Bola Tinubu has signed a bill creating the North Central Development Commission, NCDC. And I think I read a report. I don't know how true it is. Probably you can confirm that to me. That we have other regions. It's going to be a 6 regional commission right now. Commissions where we'll have just like Niger Delta. Tinubu just signed one again, NCDC for Middle Belt. Is it Middle Belt?
There's
Yes,
one
Central.
for Southeast. There's one for Southeast as well.
Southeast, North Central, Northeast, Northwest, and Southwest. Barrister. So it is true, right? 6.
It's true.
What we are seeing right now is the creation of, just like we have NDDC. We have 6 NDDCs now. We have the one for South. This one is NCDC, that is for North Central. We have the one for Northeast, NECDC. We have the one for Northwest, NWDC or whatever. So we are going to be having 6 regional development commission.
Yes, that is. I have just mentioned to you that in all our approach, we never want to address the real issue.
No,
now, what we want now is to give people jobs.
You see, Barrister, before you chip in, please. You see, my own is not even this problem of trying to solve an endemic issue, something that is so entrenched in our system. That is a serious issue. That is not even my concern. My concern is the person of Tinubu. You've not noticed something about Tinubu. Tinubu keeps broadening the entire government, expanding it even further than what if we've been complaining that it's too large. This man, since he came, even with this complaint and lamentation, he keeps broadening it more and more. He is, I think, I don't know if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. His government has the highest executive council. Am I right?
Correct.
Highest in the history of Nigeria. For God's sake, this man keeps creating offices, creating portfolios just to reward people for loyalty or whatever, or to a kind of entrench himself in power. That is why now he's creating ministries too. He has created ministries, additional ministries and agencies. Now he's creating even more for God's sake, and not more, even more agencies, for God's sake. 6 different commissions. I don't get it. Where is the fund, for God's sake? Nigeria is bankrupt. Where is the fund for this addition, this expansion? This man keeps
This is just
killing us, honestly. He's just killing us.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. You do not know that every day in the Senate and House, a bill is passed for the establishment of a college of education, a polytechnic, a university. Everywhere, polytechnics, bills are being passed, opening polytechnics, opening colleges of education, opening universities of every nomenclature. Where will you get the funds to make this if it is not intended that there should be mushroom establishment, mushroom educational establishment? Where will you get the universities we already have are terribly underfunded. They are complaining. ASU is complaining they are not paid properly. Allowances are not paid. Then you have not taken care of the
existing ones. Honestly, you are creating more.
You are creating more and more. And the more you create, the administrative cost, overhead, you are making somebody vice chancellor, rector. This one, you are creating the administrative infrastructure. You are putting money for new buildings, for new vehicles to take care of this. Where will you stop?
And the corruption is expanding because you are creating all these people, all these heads. They will be still
more corruption.
Of course, more corruption.
Oh, so that you want to reward people. Where will you stop? Can the economy absorb this? If the economy cannot absorb what we already have, How will you absorb the additional creations you are making? And that is not the end, because there are more bills presently pending for anything you can think of, any topic you can think of in this world, for creation of an agency to take care of that. So it makes, I don't know, this must be deliberate, because it is not even, you do not require a professor of economics to tell you that this is not sustainable.
Of course.
Apparently they know.
Now.
Apparently they must know that this
man is just honestly
unrestricted creation of agencies cannot. I think last week there was a creation of Federal University in Adamawa, and he said he will not sign because the process, there's an issue. Not that the act will not be signed. They should amend the issue and give the federal government power to do certain things under it.
Wow.
Because under the act, they gave it to the Senate. So he said, no, go back, let the president have power to do that. Then I will sign the act. That is a new federal university in Adamawa State. Already they have federal university.
That's what I was just about to ask you that. We have federal university in Adamawa.
Yola has federal university. So Yola has Adamawa has federal university. They have state university. They have federal polytechnic. They have state polytechnic. So what is happening? Where do they think they are going with all these things? And how can it be sustained? Do they ever think for once that something will happen and the oil that we are taking and getting this money to splash around, we will not be able to? And honestly, where will we build? Everybody in your own house with your wife and your family, you plan ahead. You plan that if I lose my job, if my source of income is cut off, let me have something I will be able to manage. These people don't think of tomorrow.
Honestly, I don't know, we Nigerians, I don't know why we are taking this. I'm so emotional. I'm so vexed. In fact, the thing is honestly, it's infuriating me. I don't know why we are this tolerant. Again, I have asked this question over and over again, and it can never be over asked. Honestly, when Nigerians, when can we say enough? This is our breaking point. Don't we? Every human being on earth has a breaking point. When is our own breaking point?
The breaking point is every human being has a breaking point and also a surrender point. It's either you reach the breaking point.
So we have surrendered.
No, when you reach the breaking point, you have two choices, either to fight or to surrender. So if you are asking at what point
what you are suggesting, what you are insinuating now is that we have just surrendered to our fate.
Is there any evidence that we are ready to fight? Nigerians surrender easily. They surrender easily.
What kind of breed are we Nigerians? What kind of breed are we made of? For God's sake. Why are we cowards? Why are we weaklings? Why do we love our lives so much? Of course, everybody, human beings should love their life. But at the same time, you get to a point where a human being should get to a point where you no longer think about what will happen because you have reached your limit. But Nigeria, especially this Tinubu's government, several governments, previous governments have done the same thing, have done all this, have taken us to a breaking point. But this Tinubu's government have even multiplied that breaking point. Yet, we still do not see it as a breaking point. It is so sad.
More ready to surrender than to fight. That's just it.
It is so sad. What you said now, if you see this now, and the worst part is that people keep, we make this production. You see people still coming to bash us for just speaking up. That is the point. You see, after this, you see now, you go to the comment section, you see it's the same Nigerians that you are fighting on behalf of. because this is our own way of fighting. Speaking up. They will still come and bash you, call you names, ask you why won't you start it yourself?
Exactly. That's what you hear. They will say, come and lead us in the fight.
That's the point. Not knowing that I keep telling people something. Look,
so everybody has the level he can contribute.
Correct.
People don't understand
That's the point. Because look, if I were someone like Peter Obi, or if I were someone like Peter Obi or Atiku, someone that is influential, someone that people can listen to, when he says go, people go. When he says come, stop, people. If I were in that shoe, if I were in that position, honestly, I would now, for those of you, in case you come back, you want to come here and start asking me stupid questions or calling me names. That is why I don't know why people ask that question. Why won't you lead? I cannot lead because nobody knows me. Nobody will listen to me. So even if I lead and die, I will lead and die for nothing. People will not, and that's just it. So the person we need to actually spearhead this are our leaders. Some of our leaders, people who command respect in the society, people who we can listen to. That is it, and that is my gross against Peter Obi. Peter Obi had the opportunity that 2023 after the election that when Mahmoud Yakubu, I don't know why I see you keep using Jega. Boy, Mahmoud Jega, after Mahmoud Yakubu raped us of the so-called, I call it phantom democracy. I expected Peter Obi, that's my gross against him. He would have capitalized on the popularity, the unprecedented organic popularity he garnered at that point to actually rescue Nigeria. But no, he failed. He failed because he's just as weak as anything, as weakness can be. So sad. So sad.
Think that if himself, Peter Obi, also do not properly understand the dynamics.
Of course, he doesn't.
Of the Nigerian system. Because it's only those who do not fully understand what is on ground that will seek to participate in the process and system on the ground. Honestly. In the hope that they can solve the problem. When they cannot, because the system will not allow them. So you have to fashion out a new way. As long as Peter Obi seeks to work within the system, I have the feeling that he truly does not understand the full extent of the problem on the ground. Because if you understand the full extent and you want to do something, you want to fight, you will fight in a different way.
Honestly.
Because participating in the system will not achieve the desired result.
Oh, that is it. All he knows how to do is just quoting statistics. He knows how to do that. Call statistics, data. That's what he knows how to quote. This country has this number of this. That country has that number of this. Just quoting statistics and comparing us with countries, for God's sake, instead of doing the needful. I beg, that man is just a bunch of disappointment. I really had hope in him, honestly.
That is just what I'm saying. Assuming today you make Peter Obi the president, what can he do? He has the National Assembly.
No, but honestly, hold on. Yeah, but no, at least. No, you and I, we've discussed this before. You've always hammered on. I agree with you. A tree cannot make a forest. You need more than just a president. And that is this is one of the reasons why I prefer military. I've told you the reason why. I've always been an advocate of military from day one. I've never ever, even from day one, I have never bought this democracy of a thing. Democracy, because I just believe it's alien to us. That's just it. Democracy is not African. Democracy is a Western idea. It doesn't belong to us. So this is one of the major reasons why I abhor democracy. Because, like you just rightly noted, under democratic rule, the president, even if the president is perfect, What happens to the National Assembly? What happens to even even minister, even his own cabinet executive? He will have even among his own people who will sabotage him. So that is just the reality. But you see, my point is this with Peter Obi: if Peter Obi had been installed as president, I think at least you and I we agree on this term that he would have been able to lay at least the foundation for someone to build upon. We were not expecting magic from Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not a magic. He couldn't have been a magician. But what we were expecting was a foundation. And that foundation is at least use 4 to 8 years to build the institution, a kind of revamp the institution. And that was what we expected Buhari to do. We thought when Buhari first came and he started the entire revenue, I think he only opened one account that every revenue, all government revenues, and I forgot the name of that account with the CBN, that all whatever. When he did that, we thought that, okay, that was, yes, he was trying to curb corruption or whatever. So we thought Buhari was going to, but unfortunately, he was a bunch of failure, sort of. So
you have to know that that ST single treasury account was not started by Buhari, it was started by Jonathan. He is not the initiator of that STA.
Okay, I can't remember.
It is anyway a concept of Jonathan's administration.
Okay, concept. Okay, he just came to implement it.
They didn't implement it. It was Buhari that actually implemented it.
So that's my point is, if Peter Obi had been whatever, at least he would have used the 8 years to a kind of to an extent. He's not going to perform magic. The institutions cannot change drastically, but at least lay a foundation of establishing at least a revamped institution or revamped institutions. That is just what I expected of him.
It is going to be extremely difficult for anybody to convince me that we can work within the system we have and improve Nigeria.
Yeah, that is why
nobody is going to convince me, because I have seen enough. I have seen too much of what is on ground. And nobody can convince me that working within this so-called democratic system, we can advance Nigeria's interests. Yeah, it's not possible.
That is why I have never loved democracy. Possible. I never wanted it. And that is why
we do not, and I have said repeatedly, we do not have the basis to operate this so-called democracy.
Honestly, we don't.
Number one, the institutions are not there.
They are not.
Number two, we do not have an enlightened electorate that understand the power of the vote, that is not for parochial and selfish interests, it's for national interests. We don't have that electorate at all. Nigerians vote for religious, tribal, ethnic, geopolitical reasons.
Yeah, that is it.
Not the reasons of national interest and its development. As long as you do not have an enlightened and understanding electorate, that democracy cannot work.
Honestly.
Because it's going to throw up people that will work according to those ethnic, religious, and geopolitical sentiments. And that will impede the development of the country. So nobody, I'm in Nigeria, I've grown up in Nigeria, I know the system, I've participated, whether it is the security agencies, we have interacted with them, whether it's the court, whether it's the politicians. I know too much to believe that working within this civil process, we can advance Nigeria's interests. Nobody will convince me.
Honestly, I agree with you. It's not about even convincing. Me too, I agree with you that it's just, and that's why from day one, I remember when Obasanjo was coming as is, honestly, I didn't even, when Abacha died and people were happy when Abacha died, I wasn't that much happy because the truth is that, again, Abacha did some good things. That's just the truth. But let's not even go there. So I've always been an advocate of the military, because for obvious reasons, Nigeria, we're not built for this. We're not built for this.